Konnichiwa, and welcome to Tsuki no Ame, where we try Japanese snacks and treats. Today we have two snacks to try from Soccer Co. And this is going to be a little interesting because these are both cheese-flavored treats. And I've noticed on this channel that cheese-flavored snacks from Japan get a little interesting. They're not necessarily bad, it's just sometimes the choice of cheese feels very, very odd. And just, at least for me personally, hasn't always worked. Sometimes it can be really good. Sometimes it's a little strange. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. You'll see what I mean with this second one here. But first we're going to start with, this is our black pepper cheese Kakinotane. So, Kakinotane, these are those tiny little crescent-shaped rice crackers. They've honestly been really pretty good. I really enjoy them a lot. These ones in particular are black pepper and cheese flavored, and they're not telling me what kind of cheese they're using. I'm assuming that this is their picture of the cheese. If you can tell what that is just from looking at the picture, please let me know down in the comments below. I have no idea what I'm getting into, what cheese we're getting with this. But I'm going to pull it real quick, and this is true for both of them. I can already tell that there's actually built-in Ziploc, which I do really appreciate. I appreciate that about these. Our second treat, you might be able to already tell why I'm highlighting this one. This is our Gorgonzola Nori Ten. And I don't know about you, so if it is different for you, please let me know down in the comments below. But for me, Gorgonzola is not a cheese that really shows up much in my life. It's not something I eat much, either as a flavor or eating the cheese itself. I am not very versed in Gorgonzola. So yes, please let me know down in the comments below. This is, as I said, Nori Ten. So Nori Ten, we'd run into it a couple times before, but here in the Culture Guide, they have, I think, the best explanation I've seen for it. Which is that it's made by frying seaweed, which is called nori, that's where the nori comes from, in tempura batter. A very thin tempura batter, which I have to admit makes a lot of sense because I have really enjoyed it when we've gotten it, and tempura is delicious. So I'm, again, very curious to see how this turns out, just because, I don't know, cheese and seaweed just don't really mix in my head, and maybe that's just me, so, let me know your thoughts. I think this is going to be very interesting. I'm very curious to see how these turn out, so with all that in mind, let's get started. Itadakimasu! So, starting with our black pepper Kakinotane. I can smell something, but I'm not entirely sure what it is that I'm smelling. Okay. I can get a little bit of the pepper, but, you know, like those big tins of popcorn that you see around at Christmas? And it used to be, at least, that you could get these ones with like 3 flavors, right? There was butter, there was caramel, and then there was this cheese one. And sometimes you could find it where it was just one of the flavors, and sometimes you found the 3, or at least that's what I remember from when I was a kid. I don't tend to eat popcorn very much. It smells like that. It smells like that cheese coating. So if you enjoyed those, this might be right up your alley. I remember liking it as a kid, but I don't. Like I said, it's not something I really eat much at all anymore, in part just because I like popcorn, but I don't eat a lot of it. There are a lot of things I prefer over popcorn. But here we have just these little rice crackers. And there are a couple flecks from the black pepper, but not as much, not nearly as much as I would like to see for a black pepper flavored snack. This is going to be interesting. All right. Okay. There was a bit of that cheese flavor on it, which felt really kind of strange because it kind of went away and it blended oddly with the normal. There's kind of a normal coating that usually goes on Kakinotane with like soy sauce and other deliciousness. Like I said, I really enjoy Kakinotane. I think it's really tasty. I have historically really enjoyed it. I just don't know that for me personally, it works really well with that cheese powder, that kind of fake cheese flavoring. Uh, the black pepper kicked in slowly, but by the end it was kind of strong. I don't think it's my favorite. I don't mind the black pepper. I tend to really like pepper. Um, I don't know. I feel like it could have been done better without the cheese. Maybe that's just me. If you get the chance to try, please let me know what your thoughts are on this. I am very curious to see everybody's opinions on these things. So moving on to our Gorgonzola Nori Ten. Okay. The seaweed scent and the cheese scent are blending together. They do remind me of something, and I feel really bad for this comparison. But there were these cat treats that I got for my cats. They were seafood and cheese. They kind of smelled like this, and I didn't realize that at the time, and then I found out that there was a chicken and cheese version, and I've never bought the first one. Again, it's always been the chicken version. Um, this is going to be interesting. But you can see the tempura on here. This feels like it's very typical. You know, I don't know a lot of the specifics about how Nori Ten is made, but it seems like there's usually kind of the seaweed backing and then the tempura deliciousness on the other side. I have really enjoyed these historically. So if you do get the chance to try Nori Ten in a different flavor, I would definitely recommend. We're going to see how well this one is and whether this is one worth trying or, yeah, we're going to find out. Okay. It's not as bad as I thought it might be. I'm really glad to say. And I think part of that is just the fact that, honestly, Nori Ten, just a basic, good, solid Nori Ten, is just delicious, right? Because it is the seaweed and the tempura batter, and it just kind of all spells deliciousness. The gorgonzola wasn't as bad as I thought it might be. It was okay. I don't know how much I particularly care for it. I think there are flavors of Nori Ten that we've had that I've preferred. But if you're curious about it, you know, it's not gross, it's not nasty, it's not bad. I don't know how great it is personally. Um, but it's also, it's not one of the worst things either. Uh, and certainly not actually. I'll be honest. The title of worst snack is held by a cheese snack, and this is nowhere near this. If you are wanting to try a cheese snack, either of these are workable. I don't think they're the best cheese snacks that we've had, but they're certainly edible. Even if I don't know how much I particularly care for them, they're not they're not your worst options. Gochu Sosama. So to recap, we tried our black pepper cheese kakinotane, and it really kind of reminded me of those 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 giant tins of cheese popcorn, and it went on a bit of a flavor journey. I think that aspect could be really fun. I don't know that this is necessarily the flavor combination that I would recommend for that. I don't know. It might be worth seeing if the brand has another flavor set to give that a try. I might have to go see about that. But yeah, so if you get the chance to try, it's not bad. I just don't know that it's really worth seeking out. Same with our second. This is our Gorgonzola Nori Ten. The Gorgonzola was okay. Nori Ten in general is delicious. I don't think this is the best flavor of Nori Ten, but if you've never had the chance to try it and you're good with cheese and Gorgonzola specifically, it might be worth it if you have access to it. I mean, if they're there, I certainly wouldn't say don't. They're not bad. I just don't think they're necessarily worth hunting down. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like my shirt, the link for that is down in the description below. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Johnny.